check. Jacob.
Hi, how's it going?
And Jesse.
Salam and good evening.
Please come closer.
Closer. Too close. A little too close.
Balance me.
Balance me, daddy.
Balance me, daddy.
All right,
Don't.
Jacob.
Hi,
Jesse.
how's it going?
Yes.
And now Hademos.
Hey, corpse here.
Hey, all right.
So, shall we do this?
Yeah, let's hit it.
Get this ball rolling.
Hit it, hot shot.
So, who wants to tell me what happened last time? As we've been poring over notes for the past half hour.
Last time on Dragon Ball Z.
Well, we left the village of Headshot. Kalik escorted us out of the village. And then came back to Korizo. Darian invited Liberty to his house, and she came up on the offer. Slim Shady told us where we could find him. Ask after him at Tanner's over in Carrizo. Savi's Skins, I believe, if we ever need to get a hold of him. Rin went off to the sketchiest part of town he could find. Overheard that everyone already knows that Darian was involved in breaking those slaves out. He tried to persuade them that they were misinformed. Not sure how well that worked because he later received a note telling him to send Darian a message or deliver one to him. Liberty got to see Darian's bookshop, meet his adopted kids, a tabaxi girl named Rain, and a tiefling young man named Zephyr, who is basically Rin's unconfirmed illegitimate child because the personality is spot on. Darian seems to be fairly convinced that Liberty is a tiefling, however he can't prove it, which is basically what she told him. And they debated racism and philosophy for a bit. Also, Darian needs to stay out of the kitchen because he keeps ruining the food.
Too much paprika. And yes, I know that was Russian.
Anything to add from anyone?
Negative.
Nope.
Alright. If I remember correctly, Liberty was about to head out into town with Zephyr. Darian, what were you planning on doing with your day?
As it stands, I don't know. Maybe head back to the bookstore. I guess I'll head to town with them.
Okay. Rin, you, in the note that you received, the cryptic encoded note talking about how Darian was to be sent a message. There was a date and a time. The time is sometime in the early evening today.
The time is nigh.
And the place is a seedy dive bar that you're familiar with.
Excellent. Yes, I was going to say, it seems to me that I've got a clandestine meeting to go to and some exploring to do.
Yes, but you do have a few hours before you do that. Did you have any plans?
Well, let's see. I'm going over my equipment real quick because I want to check and see if there's not anything I want to buy.
You are in the city. Now would be the time.
Yeah, exactly. Honestly, while I might go on a quick shopping trip, I don't think Rin would.
I feel like that's fair.
That's typically sort of the last thing on his mind. He's much more of an improv guy than a preparation person.
I feel that.
So I suspect he's going to. Well, first he's going to go to the drive-through. Jesus, dive bar. He's going to visit later that night, and sort of scope it out. Look for like make sure all the entrances and exits and emergency exits are where he remembers them. And then he's going to kind of wander the city in concentric circles leading out from where the dive bar is. And then slowly come back in as it gets closer and closer to the meeting time to see if he can spot anything suspicious or anything worth noting, that sort of thing. A lot of people misjudge him because they think he just kind of does whatever, but there's a startling amount of calculation that he does behind the scenes that no one knows about.
Mm-hmm. In light of that, then go ahead and make a perception check as you go around looking to see what's going on with the dive bar.
Surely I shall. Perception check skills. Persniption. Roll that beautiful beam footage. Maybe. That is a dirty 20.
Right. The CD bar in question is a place called Rubbing Salt. It is a small hole in the wall that is underneath a larger butcher shop. The entrance is down the road where it declines to the point where you're able to enter the door. There are only two entrances, one into an alley in between the building behind it, and one that is out on the street, both of which pretty much 24/7 have someone standing at them.
Mm-hmm.
However, they don't necessarily bar entrance to anyone they don't believe is a cop.
Gotcha.
If you're copying that, tell me.
And you are allowed entrance. For the most part, it reeks in here. Day-old piss, terrible ale, the common scent of different inhalants that seem to create a permanent smog at the very top of the roof, or at the top of the ceiling. For the most part, it's pretty empty at this time of day. Probably one or two patrons, neither of whom look terribly interested in conversation, including with each other, as they're sitting pretty much as far away from each other as they can.
Mm-hmm.
The bartender is a dragonborn gentleman who eyes you as you walk in, but doesn't move to speak to you or anything of the sort.
Okay.
Anything else you would like to know?
Not off the dome.
All right. You leave that place again and go about your business in the city. I'm sorry, I may have zoned out a little bit during the second half of your explanation. Was there anything else you were doing?
Moi?
Yes.
No, that's
Okay.
pretty much it. Just exploring and keeping an eye on things and gathering information until such a time as the meeting starts.
Sounds like a plan. In the meantime, Dadian and Liberty, after the midday meal, the two of you and Zephyr begin to make your way to the city.
Okay.
Rain has already left earlier in the morning and went to open the bookshop herself.
Get out of my head. I was gonna ask about that. Yeah, sounds great. So, Liberty, do you have everything you need?
Yes, I carry everything.
Okay. If you and Zephyr will go to the gate, I shall lock up. Hello?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
This
Right.
I didn't catch that. What?
She just said all right.
Mm. Sorry, I'm having trouble hearing apparently. So
She's also breaking up a lot. It's
okay.
it's not just you.
So yeah, so we will head to the bookstore that I've still struggling to name.
So you all make your way back into
Richard
the
Nixon's
city.
Literary Treasures.
No.
About 20 minutes later, you've entered the city from the western gate. The area is bustling as ever. You often will see the Sultan's guards wandering the streets, keeping an eye out for trouble. You make it back. You make it to the bookstore and find Rain there, who
Quick,
hastily
quick
shoves
question.
a small paperback book under a few blankets. Yes.
Nice.
I thought Darian's place and the bookshop were on the mirror side of.
I meant Mir. I meant Emir. I'm so
Okay.
sorry. Thank you for that. Yes, the Emirs. The Emir's guards.
It makes a difference for some of us.
It actually does.
I am geologically inept at the moment, so or geographically,
That is totally fine.
so I am writing that down as best as I can.
It also it also makes somewhat sense in character as Dardian has not taken too keen of interest in the goings on of the political structure in Corso.
Fair enough. I am going to go tidy up for a bit.
Okay. Liberty, where are you off to?
Well, I believe Zephyr was going to escort me over to other city, like get back to the temple and my side of
You're trying to get back to. I'm sorry, you broke up.
the Sultan's side of town.
Ah,
Because that's where my temple is. And on the way there, I would invite Zephyr if he's interested. I could buy him a cup of coffee at one of my favorite places on that side of town.
he won't refuse. Uh, he will ask, however, do you have money for the ferry?
I have not used the ferry in a very long time. How much does it usually cost?
Normally it only costs 3 silver.
I should have a.
Wonderful, then I will lead you to the nearest one. Come with me.
Hobbit,
He
what are you
leads you through
using
the
for a
city.
mic? Hobbit,
What?
what are you using for a mic?
Just my computer.
How close is it to you? Because whenever you finish a sentence, it pretty reliably misses the last word of what you say.
I'm probably leaning back at the end of my sentence, just subconsciously.
Gotcha.
That.
Alrighty. Just figured I'd let you know.
Thank you.
As they are heading towards the door, Darian comes back, and in a brown paper bag presents Liberty with presumably a book, and gives Zephyr 10 silver, as well as a note from Darian saying what he's doing, what Zephyr is doing.
Well,
So-
this is my orders from my master to send me this way, sort of thing.
Essentially, yeah.
Okay.
So I have the change setting on top of the note, and I hand him to Zephyr. I'm like, Zephyr, this is for you. Keep that on your person. Liberty, a parting gift. And no, I don't know what book it is yet.
I
The
won't
Tales
open
of
it.
Beetle the Bard.
Aw, I know that reference.
All right,
Finally, I
well,
make a reference and she gets it.
Hooray!
come with me, Miss Liberty. I'll take you right away.
Thank you.
You guys move through the city for the next several minutes, passing through markets and bazaars. Uh, for the most part, unharassed. Eventually, though, you do make it to the far side of this half of the city and make it to the wide river. Uh, Takes a few minutes, but Zafir is able to find a ferry to take you both across. And yeah, it takes a little while for it to move across the water, and the river at this point is probably a little over half a mile wide. It's more of an inlet of the ocean at this point. And around you can see many docks and large structures that are built partially into the water where large ships are being worked on.
So
It's... Say again, I'm sorry.
almost a bay.
It is technically a bay.
Okay.
But you make it across and have made it to the Sultan's side. Immediately, the difference is pretty clear. The Sultan's side is a little less loud. A little decent amount fewer people who walk around openly, and the Sultan's guards. I'm certain I said Emir. I meant Sultan. The Sultan's guards, in their different armor, are a bit more almost regal looking. You, however, know of a good coffee shop in this area and are able to begin moving that way, or towards the temple, whichever you would prefer.
I'll take him to coffee first and deal with
Okay.
temple business after.
All right. Which coffee shop
You
are you
like-
taking him to?
Well, I'll check with him on his coffee preference. If he prefers his coffee very strong, I was thinking the Onyx Tiger. Or if he prefers something sweeter and with better atmosphere, go to Copper Lady.
He definitely prefers it stronger.
All right, the Onyx Tiger it is.
All right. You guys move through the city and make it there pretty quickly. The lavish space is spread pretty thoroughly with cushions and curtains that block out the hot sun. The patrons in here are mostly finely dressed, but there is a decent mix of statuses. The coffee that you purchase is probably around a full silver for the both of you, which Zephyr will pay for with the money that he was given by Darian.
I mean, I offered to buy it for him. If he's insistent on spending his master's money, that is his choice.
He's not.
Then I'll go ahead and pay it.
Okay. It's good coffee. Definitely better than what you got in Fountainwell.
Much.
The brew is quite nice, a light roast. Good stuff. Zephyr asks, so is this how you normally live?
We try to save up a little often enough. How I live changes from day to day. Mostly just wander around. We have no use.
Changes day to day, mostly wander around. What was the last part?
Sorry, I have a habit of tripping at the end of my sentences.
You're also just
mostly-
breaking up really bad.
I'm sorry. I mostly look for where I can be of the most use to others. This side of town, there are quite a few the homeless, especially children here, who need a little extra light in their lives.
He kind of just shrugs and makes a slight face at the proposition. There are people in need everywhere.
That is very true. But this side keeps me in range of the temple. I can go and be refreshed myself when I need it. And I find a lot to learn in the mother's house.
Amada is the sun goddess?
Close. The moon goddess.
Right. I was never good with my deities.
Lightning strikes.
And he smoked right there in the coffee shop.
He hurled his mighty bolt.
And along came Zeus.
Oh gosh, I can't get caught up in that one. Excuse me. It's all right. Around here, most people tend to focus on these three elder deities: wisdom, life, death. But Amada has been personal. My preferred deity. I have a better connection.
He doesn't have much of a response and just kind of sniffs and then goes back to his drink. You do notice that as you have been moving through the city and even in this place of leisure, he is definitely impertinent with his gaze, especially considering his position.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I will be keeping an eye out to see if anyone else is taking any interest in how impertinent his gaze is, and if anyone seems to be taking it personally or offended by it.
Go and make an insight check.
Okay.
How insightful of you.
Does my usual bonus for non-hot... How is it phrased? 'Cause
No one here is directly hostile to you, so yes.
hostile to me or immune to being charmed, so... Cool. Insight... 17.
There have been a few occasions where people they definitely notice. But so far he hasn't caused any real problems.
Okay. And if I feel like tension is starting to rise, I'll try to distract him or kind of guide him on to the next spot anytime things start to... I feel like the tension's getting to be too much or something.
Mm-hmm. Well, you needed to do something else in this part of the city, correct?
Yes, I'll be stopping by the temple to review some scriptures.
He finishes his drink quickly. Well, whenever you're ready.
Alright. After I have finished my drink, head out to the temple.
All right. You guys make your way through the city for a little while longer, and while you say temple, shrine is probably more accurate, as all of the lesser gods are not necessarily worshipped in temples, but the obelisk of Amada is a center point in a large open area of the city, free of trade, which is pretty uncommon for open areas. But this area is considered sacred to some extent. The large obelisk has writings carved into it of the different scriptures and sayings of Amada, as well as a spot to burn incense.
Devotional book. Flip to the next blank page and start copying down scripture from the obelisk into my book.
Okay. No one stops you. There are occasional people who will walk up to the obelisk and either say a small prayer or leave a small burnt offering. Uh, Zephyr finds a spot on a low wall that runs along a staircase that leads down to a lower street. Uh, Sits there and picks at his teeth while he waits for you.
Mm-hmm. I
Classy.
know, it's riveting stuff.
Just the most riveting.
After I've copied down a full page or two, when I find a good stopping point, I'll pause, let the ink dry, close my book, bow, and then go over and burn an incense offering myself.
Okay.
I'm glad you clarified because I definitely for a moment thought you said I burned myself as an incense offering. I was like, oh god, a backup character already, huh?
And that's how that story ends.
Zephyr just stands and watches, shrugs, and walks away.
Just zero.
Zephyr's just
zero cares in
Zephyr's
the
just
world.
sitting there, like, well, fuck.
Well,
Most
I guess I made
interesting
7
thing
silver off
happened.
of that.
And
That's a net gain.
All right. Once that's finished, I'll go back. Rejoin Zephyr, I guess.
Well, are you ready to head back to the mansion?
Yes, I suppose so. Spend more night over there.
All right. Well, it's this way. And he begins to lead you through the city again.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, Darian, the bookstore has been decently busy today. You've had a few different customers. None of whom were looking for anything too terribly interesting, and you were able to provide them what they were looking for, at least something close enough that they were willing to buy.
Okay. I'm just kind of hanging out at the store, honestly, for the day.
Okay.
Yeah, not really anything interesting for me. Darian's just kind of going back to his old routine at this point.
Understandable. Then let's move this forward, shall we?
Indeed.
You have a customer come in. He stabs you. The end.
You died.
I'm doing the same.
Several hours later, Liberty, you and Zephyr make it back to the house. Eventually, Rain does show up as well, as she left Darian to close the shop. She and Zephyr begin preparing the evening meal. And Rin, it's about now that the meeting is to take place. You've made your way slowly through the city and in a large loop back to the rubbing salt.
Mm-hmm.
As you approach, you are what do you look like at the moment?
Oh, I guess it's coming out. As I approach, I look like myself.
Okay. Go ahead and roll either a persuasion or intimidation check with advantage.
I think I'm definitely, in this case, sort of playing up the I'm a fucking assassin card.
Mm-hmm. Which is why I give you the choice.
Yeah, so I think I'm definitely going to go with intimidation. Roll. Okay. I have with advantage, that is an 18.
Okay. The bouncer semi-recognizes you, understanding the reputation that follows, and immediately opens the door for you.
I smile at him, but it's mildly predatory.
He notices. He doesn't necessarily look scared, but you have understood that you have an effect on people.
It's Rin usually comes off as jovial and flippant, but if he just changes his demeanor sort of one to the left, it becomes a lot more intimidating than he usually is. It's weird to watch him do it.
Given your abilities, it's very easy for you to do too.
I can picture that.
Uh,
Suddenly, there's no mirth behind the smile.
Pretty much.
Something a little bit more feral.
And instead of bright eyes, suddenly they're just chips of ice.
Yes.
Been there.
I'll kill you.
Just a mood. Entering in, however, you find the place a little more packed than earlier. Looking around, you see... Let me double check this. About 9 people, all of whom are in here. A few of them, 3 of them are at separate tables alone, but 6 of them are... 6 of them are all at the same table.
Okay. Did my little pamphlet come with instructions?
It did not.
All right, I'm going to go sit with the 6 people.
All right. As you make your way there, the faces, a few of them are familiar to you from the previous night. One...
I didn't look like... I disguised myself the previous night, as I recall.
That is correct.
Yes? Okay.
That is correct.
I couldn't remember if I was that forward-thinking or not.
You were. You,
Okay,
if I remember correctly, said that you were more covered up. Still looked like you, but were covered. However, approaching the table, there is immediately a different energy coming from what was a haggle is now almost a standoff as you take your spot, forcing your way into this arena. The occupants of the table, the 3 men that you saw last night are there. 2 new ones who, in conjunction with the 3 others, are armored and armed to the teeth. And 1 new person from that, a dwarven gentleman, bristling side whiskers and a large mustache. He is dressed in a fine silk shirt, billowing cuffs in a plume of a neckline. He sits at his spot, clearly the master of this situation.
Oh, good. 2 plebeians and a poser.
And who are you?
I got your notice. You may call me Ghost.
Go ahead and roll a persuasion check.
To see if they use my call sign. Is this a Star-Lord situation?
Not necessarily.
Persuasion. Plus 7.
I'm not calling
19.
You that.
Okay.
It's Star Guy.
He takes it in for a second, seems to almost chew on your words, and then says, "Who am I to judge who wants to get paid? Anyways, I am happy to see that I have some amount of pull in the community still.
Really?
All of you
Sorry.
are to make your way to the Ramtuk mansion and send a message. No one is to be killed, but certain blood amount should be spilled for sure." There's a chorus of grunts and affirmation.
Grin just chuckles a little.
You will be paid 50 gold for the job 25 now and 25 upon return. He pulls out several small sacks of coins and slides them into the middle of the table. And no one is to know about any of this.
You got an address, Hotshot?
I do indeed. And he pulls out a small note and puts that on the table as well.
Ring glances at it.
One of the gentlemen who's sitting at the table, a larger and bulkier gentleman, reaches across the table and picks it up with fat sausage-like fingers.
Hmm.
We'll be on our way then. And he stands from the table.
Rin stands as well.
All right. What is your plan? Are you planning to travel with them?
I think so.
All right.
I think I know exactly what I'm going to do.
Wonderful. You guys begin to move towards the eastern side of town. Right now is a wonderful time for a pee break because I have to pee. I'll see you guys all in like 5 minutes.
I'm going to make alcoholic hot chocolate.
Well, fine,
Good plan. See you all soon.
We're gonna die.
Concern.
He specifically said no death, but spill blood.
Yeah. I'm going to be spilling blood.
There will be blood tonight.
No. Let me rephrase that. Somebody call an ambulance, but not for me.
Okay, you've seen the post, right, about having different emotions tied to a barbarian's rage instead of anger? It's like
Yes, I most certainly have.
the goblin smacks you. I start to cry. The goblin laughs. These tears aren't for me.
Okay, I'm back.
Huh.
I apologize. That dwarf was supposed to have an Italian accent, and it took me quite a few lines to get there.
Let the record show. White Russian slows the Italian accent.
More along the lines of, it's really hard for me to get out of Arabian.
It takes such intense focus to get into it.
Exactly.
Then you have to completely untrain yourself again. 'Cause it's less instinctive than, like, I don't know, British or Irish are so much closer to ours that is our sound guy marking the fact that we are near town.
Was that a question for me?
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't understand what she said.
Is our
We're
sound
near-
guy marking when we need to take out the mention of where we live?
I mean, whenever we're ready to hop back in is when I notate. So
84375. I wonder whose address I just spouted off.
I mean, you said 4 digits, so
Oh,
84375 Round Circle Boulevard.
Round circle, huh? Round circle.
Yep.
Could be worse. Imagine if all these squares made a circle.
and that one's
Listen.
still green. Family?
I do believe so.
Always.
Is the family ready to be murdered?
Not really.
Cool.
Real quick, out of character. Who's home? I forgot.
Hi.
Oh, it's literally just Darian.
It's literally just Aryan.
That'll actually make my life a lot easier.
Well, Darian's at the bookshop. Everyone else is at the house.
Oh, is that what you're asking? Yes, no, sorry. Hi.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
I was paying
Less-
attention. Everyone's
less
at the
easy.
house except for Darian.
Less easy, but okay.
But actually, it is about this time that Darian has started going home. So, Darian, you've headed home by this time because the sun is beginning to set and it's getting late, and this is about the time you close, anyways.
Okay. Out of curiosity, do I meet them once I'm at my house, or do I just kind of like start walking alongside them, like, oh hey, you guys are, where are you going?
We'll find out.
How you doing?
I'm just going home. Where are you going? We are also going to your home. Oh,
We too are going to your home.
What a coincidence!
I
coming soon
love
to a
you.
theater near you.
I will kill you. You will love me as no other has.
So, Darian, you just head home. You have
Yep.
nothing else to do in town? Okay.
Nope, I am having a very casual day, a very unexciting day, actually.
Oh, almost too unexciting, too casual. You make your way home, uh, passing through the eastern part of the city. You make your way down the sandy roads off to the hilly area outside of the city where you reside. Don't meet anyone on your travels, and you make it home safely. When you get home, Liberty, Zephyr, and Rain are all enjoying a very nice meal.
It has been a long day. Rain, what is for dinner?
Mostly just rice and beans.
My favorite. Liberty, I see you decided to stay another day.
Um, yes, I don't plan on staying on this side of the city much longer, but if I'm not imposing too much, I thought one more night here.
No, no, of course, stay as long as you like, as I have said before.
My thanks.
Arian pulls
please
up a steed
join
and
us.
is now eating.
Okay. Is there anything you were planning on doing with your evening?
Just getting attacked.
Well, you don't know that.
I
That's
don't.
meta knowledge.
Nope.
Liberty will probably be reading the new book she got.
Amada's
How-
Teachings, a study of correlation between lunar phases and magic.
Can we see our location? Our destination, DM?
From where you're at?
Yeah.
As you make your way through the city, Darian's house is not necessarily visible from inside the city walls. No,
Okay, so we're not close enough yet.
not at the moment.
All right.
I will let you know when you are, though.
Excellent. I want to be within eyesight, but not within knocking distance.
That is good to know.
But yeah, so after dinner, Liberty will address Darian. Thank you again for this book. It's very interesting. Can't wait to.
I had to dig around on some of the shelves in the back, but I thought you would find it interesting, so I thought it'd make a great gift.
I very much appreciate it. I gather that the gods are not really purview.
I read every now and again. I don't actively go to the. Is it a mosque or is it a temple?
It could be referred to as either.
Okay. I don't often go to the temple, but I am not opposed to. I am an open-minded person, as I would think you've probably gathered by now.
Indeed, I have seen as such.
Uh,
What?
sorry to interrupt. I want to try stealing my compatriots' weapons while they're not looking.
Okay.
Are you looting your comrades?
Yes.
Before they're dead.
We'll get to you then.
Yeah.
We'll get to
I wanted to give you a heads up.
That is appreciated.
Just every so often, he's just having him roll another stealth check.
I've got really good
Sleight
sleight
of
of hand.
Sleight of hand.
You're going to need really good sleight of hand to take the weapons off.
Yeah,
of the
like
fighter.
obviously, if they're like holding them, I'm not going to try for that. But like if they're like in a scabbard or somewhere that they're not going to immediately notice, I'm going to try and nick it off of them.
You
getting
should-
lighter as daggers get removed.
Just
We'll-
go.
we'll
No.
s-
Go full Aladdin and steal the belt off of one of them.
I thought I was thinking about that.
Steal his pants. Not 20.
We'll see what happens. But in the meantime,
I don't know what the last thing you were saying was, Jesse.
Oh. Sorry, been attacked by a feline. One does not necessarily to study the gods or directly focus on them to live a life that is honorable in their sight, from what I have seen.
A fair point.
Does, however, make a good compass to compare one's actions to make sure one has not gone off course too far.
I suppose. One bit of scripture that always sticks with me was, "To thine own self be true."
This scripture I am not familiar with.
Do you have a moment
But
to talk about our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ?
you mean Shakespeare? Fun fact: that line.
The world's a stage, said God from his stage.
Okay,
From his
but
stage
to
of
thine
the
own-
stage.
To thine own self be true is stated by a character in Hamlet who is outright, like explicitly a wise old fool. Like he tries to come off as very wise, but he's really just an old fool.
On
I'm
that
glad
point,
you're
though,
understanding this reference in its entirety then.
on that point, though, such things are actually said in some of the scriptures of Soltir, god of humanity, in chants.
That would be in Soltier's scriptures, wouldn't it?
It honestly would.
I
But
know
it would
Sol-
definitely be phrased very differently.
Yes.
Do what you want. Only God could judge me.
Love
He just
God
might be judging me though.
love God and do as you please. If you understand in the proper context, it makes a lot of sense. Take it outside of its context, used to damaging effects.
Quite.
I'm less familiar with the teachings of Sotir and Isa and such. Most of my exposure to the gods has and their wisdom has been through Amada.
Is that who wrote it? I only remember it in passing.
As I say, I do not know where it is from. It sounds vaguely like something perhaps that Sotir would know, but
Who is to say? I sell the books, I don't read them all.
Yes, yes.
Well, if you need anything else, I will be brushing up on some of my newer books in my study.
All right. Well, then I will know where to find you should I have any questions.
Alright. I bid you good night.
DM, how close is it to sunset?
Oh, the sun has set.
Ah, okay.
Or technically, it's like at the end of sunset at the moment.
All right. I will probably read inside for a few more minutes. Once the moon starts to peek up, then I'm gonna take a walk out in the courtyards.
Okay. On your way to go begin reading, you do hear Rain say, Zephyr, it is your turn to do the dishes. I did them like 2 days ago. Yes, that is how turns work. Get up, go do it.
I love my children so much.
Meanwhile, as you all prepare to do all that, Rin,
Howdy. Hey,
You're-
there's 5 including me, right?
there are 5, including you. You also are aware that two of the individuals that you're traveling with have dogs. And these are death dogs. These
God damn
are
it. More
relatively
dogs.
expensive, two-headed, devilish-looking dogs.
Again with the dogs.
Almost like slavers have a thing that they
have to-
normally do.
Gonna have to buy some dog bait.
Mm. If you're going to try to steal their weapons, I'm first going to need a... Honestly, this would be a performance check to distract them with conversation.
Gladly.
This ought to be good.
That is a 23.
Whew.
I'm a chatterbox.
That's... You rolled a
The noisiest
19?
ghost they've ever
Yeah.
worked with.
What are you trying to do to distract them with that?
I think it's a combination of me chatting and using my illusion cantrips to sort of make it look like I'm just popping around.
Okay. While they at first find it almost offensive that you were talking to them as you were a tiefling talking to slavers, they do at some point in time begin taking up some forms of either jokes at your expense or in just general mirth between themselves as they are about to do something that sobermen cannot. In the meantime, though, go ahead and make me a sleight of hand check.
All right, sleight of hand, don't fail me now. Where did my character page go? Oh, that's right. I was looking up a menu for sushi.
Not
All right.
sandwiches?
Not sandwiches.
I roll for sashimi.
25.
25. You actually are able to pull off a few of their weapons. A few of them you're not able to.
That's fine.
The large burly gentleman who took the note while in there, you take two daggers off of his belt, but a large scimitar still remains. Something that would have been far too obvious to be able to remove, even with that roll. For the rest of them, yeah, go ahead.
Did I get like a short sword or something that's a little bigger than a dagger from any of them?
Let me check. I will say that one of the men in the back, one of the men who's leading the dogs, is plastered enough for you to actually be able to take his full scimitar.
Marvelous.
What do you mean? I walked in with this. This is mine.
For the rest of them, though, you're able to take a few quivers and small crossbows that they had affixed to their belts.
Excellent. I think I have enough to instigate my plan.
All right. Are you holding on to the weapons, or are you dropping them by the wayside to get rid of them?
Most of them I'm dropping by the wayside. I'm going to hold on to the scimitar and one of the hand crossbows.
Okay.
And a couple of the daggers.
All right. Are you trying to do anything else before you get too close?
Not really. Just sort of jabbering and distracting them from getting in their right headspace.
And you are successful, more or less, in doing so. A few minutes later, about 10 to 15, you guys begin to walk up an incline, a windy road that leads up into some hills, and are beginning to see the outlines of a large mansion built into the side of this hill.
I'm gonna start. I'm gonna skip ahead. Like literally, I'm going to skip ahead of everyone else down the road.
Like the fae he is.
How far ahead of them are you trying to get?
I'm going right to the door. I'm knocking on the door.
They do start getting a bit quieter and more serious as they start getting closer.
I turn to them and put my finger to my lips before I knock.
Okay. They all stop about 80 feet down the road and crouch down beside the lone stone wall that surrounds the villa. You make your way past the gate that is currently unlocked and make your way towards the door.
I knock.
All right. Dardian, from your study, you hear a knock at the front door.
Dorian looks around.
Liberty, you are in the back at the moment around the gardens and are not around to hear this.
Alright.
Um, who? And I like look, I like lean back in the chair and look at the clock on the wall, and
He looks at his sundial and
Um,
He looks at his sundial, and it's dark because there's no sun.
essentially. I definitely like look around in like confusion as to why there's someone at the door, and I make my way over there.
so, what is most common as timekeeping in this area are candles.
Hell yeah, I love this.
Wonderful. I look at the candle.
It's late. It's later than you would expect to have a visitor.
I knock again.
um,
Shaving a haircut 2 bits.
jeez. Uh, I make my way towards the door. Najila is hanging on my shoulder, so when I stand up, she flutters a bit. And
If there is a peephole, Rin is definitely covering it.
Oh, a peephole.
Yes.
Yeah.
what's a people?
I heard pee hole.
Jesus God.
I really hope I don't have that on my front door. Yeah, so I walk up to the door, and instinctively I do look at the pee hole.
It is currently being covered.
Yeah. And I open the door, and are you disguised? Do I recognize you?
Not you absolutely recognize me. You see my grinning face. And I say, hi, and I push you backwards into the house, and I shut the door behind us.
Why?
Do you have someone who can use this? And I hold up the scimitar.
Do you hold it up,
Here,
or do you like push it into my hand?
No, actually, no. I do think I push it in your hands, then I turn and slam the bar on the door down.
Rin, what are you doing in my
You
house?
piss some people off, my friend.
What do you mean?
You, my foolish friend, failed to disguise yourself in our little outing. So, Ezekiel, you got yourself recognized, and now some people want to send a message. Fortunately for you, your favorite friendly assassin happened to pick up the notice. But there's 4 others behind me, so you might want to fortify this place if you rich bastards have any idea of how to do that.
Arvin Shakur. Rain, Zephyr, someone go get Liberty.
Hey, any of you know how to use a sword? I've got a crossbow, too.
What?
Zephyr
you-
will
Never mind,
make
I'm
his
not
way
going to ask.
towards you all. Daddy,
Hey, you want a crossbow?
I am more proficient
hold-
with
you
the.
want a crossbow?
Give me the sword. Give me the sword.
Yeah, take that. Here, anyone who wants this, just hold a point and click.
Wait, which,
And then ignore
which
the
one
sprint.
took the item?
Zephyr takes
Zephyr
the.
took the sword.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rain, however, went to the back. Liberty, you see Rain open the door to the back gardens, and she gestures wildly towards you and stage whispers. to tell
Rin
you to come
follows
in.
towards Rain. It's like,
Okay.
here, can you use one of these? Just sort of point and click and ignore the arterial spray.
I
Wait,
could
do you
certainly
point
try.
it towards her?
Here, yeah, hold this. He just kind of dumps it on her and turns around.
She kind of fumbles with it a little.
Liberty will rush into the house, seeing Rain's confusion, and then hearing Rin's voice and.
Rin goes to one of the windows by the door and sort of draws the curtain back and sort of makes a waving motion towards the road.
They are already beginning to enter the gate.
All right, they're coming. I hope you've got some good.
Dorian is obviously spinning around, trying to grasp the situation.
Remember, point and click.
Darian, you can hear at this point a large cacophony of barking noises and guttural grunts.
You're
From
like
outside.
a wizard or something. You got like fireball or something, right?
All right, so I'm going to step up to Darian.
Okay.
I'm going to put my hand on his shoulder and hey, all right, we must be vigilant. And I'm going to do 2 things. I'm going to cast Vigilant Blessing on him, so you
Okay.
have advantage on your next initiative roll.
Okay.
And then I'm also going to give him Eyes of the Night, so you have dark vision with no maximum range.
Nice.
That's fun.
Actually, I'm going to go ahead and use Eyes of the Night, as everyone's within 10 feet of me at the moment. Everyone gets Eyes of the Night, so no one has any limit on their dark vision.
I think I'm the
I
only
see
one who actually.
everything.
I think I'm the only one actually at that disadvantage.
Well, now I see everything.
Yeah, no, even tieflings, like, dark vision normally only goes to 60 feet. This is limitless dark vision.
Oh. So while Darian is whirling around at the beginning of half of that conversation, he's as Rin is handing various weapons out like candy. Darian, still flustered, is already casting mage armor on Rain, and while he's doing this, he does a couple of arcane sigils and is essentially patting, like tapping, like her shoulders and arms and such, and is instructing her, because she has the crossbow, right?
She has a crossbow, and you are aware that
Okay.
she does not know how to use it.
Rain, darling, I am sure you will figure that out, how to use that. Pull, click, like Rain.
I already
Like-
told her point and click and ignore the spray.
Go upstairs
As
to
if-
the window. Go in the balcony. Stay low.
Okay.
Balcony's a bad idea.
Darian
People tend to
turns
climb
to
those.
look at her with like the most incredulous, like, why are you here in the first place?
Because I love you.
That's
Uh,
that wasn't.
No.
Don't go to
no.
the balcony, though. Seriously, I wasn't joking about that. People like to climb those.
what should I be then?
Well, you got a kitchen?
I do.
Go there, grab a skillet, and heat it up.
She runs back towards the kitchen.
Oh,
Uh,
we're going straight home alone. Wonderful.
You can also see Zephyr, who, Darian. You know that he likes to train with daggers. He is thereby he's proficient enough with a blade. You don't know how good he is with a scimitar, to be specific, but he at least thinks he's good enough with it.
Does Rin notice that?
Rin definitely notices that the man who he handed the scimitar to doesn't look like he knows exactly how to use it.
Oh, here, Chief. Hold on, trade me. He takes the scimitar and sort of flicks him 2 daggers.
Okay. He takes the daggers. These I can do something with.
A real quick side note. DM, is it possible to throw a scimitar?
Unfortunately, scimitars in and of themselves are not able to be thrown.
Okay, just checking. I'm going to set it above the door, much akin to one
Sure,
would
damn
with
it,
a,
please.
with a water prank, a bucket of water.
Oh gosh.
Go ahead and roll a sleight of hand check for that.
While he's doing that, I'm
21.
pulling out my shield,
Okay.
and I'm going to use Mask of Many Faces to. I've got cloak and scarf up, so I'm mostly hidden. But if someone is able to look directly at my face, I've changed it to appear like a woman that I've seen in some of the portraits in Darian's house.
Okay.
So I would expect
It is-
maybe his mother.
I rolled a 21, and I unlocked the door as well.
You unlock the door.
Yep, I was only locking it so that I had enough time to rattle off an explanation.
Okay, yeah.
It's,
and
it's better
a
they be
good
able to
thing,
come in
too.
through one entrance than attempt to go through others that we can't predict.
You hear a rattle at the door as one of the people who came with Rin begins to pound on the front. They're shouting. And,
Just open it, lift the latch.
There's a pause before the door opens.
There you go.
Everyone roll for initiative.
Woohoo!
Yay. There's people in my house.
All right. So
Which I have advantage on, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
I can
Wow.
do
The
this
second roll was a
correctly. There
1,
we
so never mind.
Meh.
Okay. So
Alright,
I've definitely
Yes.
drawn more than you can see.
give me a...
Now that I'm seeing. Well, no. Stay.
Ooh.
So while he's doing that, I'm going to focus.
Okay. Stay.
No, focus.